Because whoever wins that fight pretty much wins the war. Nobody's going to stop them.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel could be good. It's going to be a really strong departure from the source material, which I'm generally not a fan of. Sorry, got hiccups. But, could be good. I got faith in it still. Hopefully they're going to use that to introduce the Inhumans. And then, obviously, Inhumans. Don't know anything about it yet. Can't really suspect. I know what the Inhumans are, but we don't know how they're going to be used. They've been hinted at on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Spoiler alert, I guess. And if you're one person that watches Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that aren't addicted to Marvel. But, I think that's about it for the direct comic book. But I guess we'll talk Turtles real quick. Hear anything about their next movie?
Not really. The only things that I've heard, and I believe I mentioned this on the last time we were talking about comics, is just some of the characters that they wanted to introduce in the second movie, which they are going to do. Turtles made huge amounts of money worldwide. It was huge. And obviously, despite, some of what critics would say, I know a lot of fans generally seem to like it. Because there's only so many people that were put off by it because of either Megan Fox being April O'Neil or the way that the Turtles looked. And those were just small little things, and I think Megan Fox did a decent job. It was one of her better roles, I think. And if you have a problem with the Turtles look, get over it. What the fuck do you want them to look like? I mean, yeah, they look a little weird, but it's not what we're used to. We're used to the Turtles looking basically the exact same way, aside of little tweaks here and there with the way they're designed by different artists and shit.
I will say one thing about it though that I heard. Well, not really like a rumor or anything, but recently CM Punk was on the Cult Cabana podcast, and he kind of put out a little thing about how he kind of wants to play Casey Jones.
Oh, that would be fucking awesome.
So I support that,
Let his hair grow down. That would be fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
He would make a fantastic Casey Jones. He would barely even have to act for that.
Yeah, so I'm totally down with that.
That would be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Casey Jones is the one character that they really wanted to bring in. And in terms of mutants, Bebop and Rocksteady were the first two big ones that they wanted. I know Baxter Stockman was supposed to be in the first movie, and he wasn't credited in the movie, but if you go online and he has an actor.
Yeah.
And everything, so...
They probably just cut his scene or something.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll bring him in. Maybe we'll get some stuff with Mousers. That'd be pretty cool. Because Baxter's a cool character. I've always liked him as a villain. Maybe at the end of the movie we'll get Baxter Fly. That would be pretty cool. But you don't want to do too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see this... The way I would like to see it go is you introduce Stockman as the new big threat, him and his Mousers, and then he obviously he could find the mutagen, and he starts fucking around with it. He brings in punks off the street as test subjects, where you bring in Bebop and Rocksteady, and he tries to find the Turtles to use them as test subjects, to use their DNA. Weird little shit like that. But I was a pretty big fan of this movie. I enjoyed it a lot. And I think what little problems they did have, they could easily be fixed. I think they did a good job, and I'm really excited to see the sequel for it.
I don't know if you heard about this, but moving on to the next subject. Non-Michael Bay Transformers movies moving forward. He's not going to be doing 5 and 6.
That's good. I think nobody is...
Do a hard reboot, in your opinion?
Oh god, a hard reboot? I think at this point, we might as well.
I mean,
But then again, at the same time, people went and fucking saw the new Transformers. It was the biggest movie of the year worldwide.
I think Hunger Games just beat it out, though.
Well, up until Hunger Games, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't followed anything about Hunger Games, but
I think Hunger Games beat it pretty big, actually. But yeah, it surprised me.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if. But I mean, if Michael Bay's not in it, I think that would give a lot of incentive for people who are turned off by Michael Bay
to give another shot.
To give these series another shot. Exactly. So, I think either way, it's still going to make money. It's Transformers. It's just the way it is, man. But
any major changes you'd like to see if they do a hard reboot?
Oh God.
Mouth plate on Optimus.
Yeah, definitely make Optimus more. I mean, they make him look a little bit more like he should. No flames. Get rid of that shit. Do your best to get fucking. God, I'm having a brain fart here. And you gotta get Optimus Prime and Megatron's voice actors, Peter Cullen, and son of a bitch.
Welker?
Yes, Frank Welker. Sorry. Like, do your best to try and get them to reprise their roles. I'm sure. I know it's hard for Frank Welker because he does a lot of voice acting.
Yeah.
He's still into his career. These guys are old. They've been voice acting since the 70s. You know, like with a lot of Frank Welker has been the voice of Freddy on Scooby-Doo since 1969 when it debuted. I think it was 1969 or whatever it was. He's been and that's obviously not the only voice he's done. He's one of the biggest names in voice acting. Peter Cullen, he's done several voices, but obviously Optimus is his claim to fame, and to many fans, they are Optimus they are the definitive Optimus and Megatron, because they've done it for so long. They know their voices, they know each other, how they portray the roles. Anyone who's seen Transformers Prime, it's one of the best Transformers cartoons of all time. People put it right up there with Beast Wars in terms of just how it's done. And much of it is between those two characters. And it's cool that they brought Frank Welker in to do Galvatron in the last movie. He didn't get nearly as much voice time. I don't know if that's correct to say, because he didn't have so many lines up until the very...
Yeah, they kind of underutilized him.
Yeah, but hopefully we'll get some more of that. I would really like to see that. Bring in some more Autobots. Because the ones that we've seen... last few ones were kind of underwhelming. I really enjoyed Hound, played by John Goodman. I think he was a cool character. I really liked him. I was kind of on the fences with Ken Watanabe's character, Drift. It's so weird to see a Transformer like that because they're robots. The only way you can explain that is if because they learned how to speak the language through the internet. And so if you want to be he wanted a samurai motif because he really liked that culture. Yeah, okay. Obviously they're not going to explain that. You just threw it out there.
Well, that's Michael Bay. He did have two of the most racist Autobots ever.
Yeah.
So, he's just a racist. Nothing else really to be said. But, alright, we're just going to move this along. We got two last topics. Godzilla. I think it can literally be summed up with what I said in the last movie. If we see more Godzilla, I will go see more Godzilla.
Yeah. And literally...
I think it was put out, we're going to get Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra in the next movie. I'm pretty sure it was put out at Comic-Con, so I'm down with that. What's your thoughts, Chudge?
I love that idea. I think it's cool. I don't know if that's too much for the movie. I think you could get away with...
Well, we had 3 in this movie, so we're going to have 4 in the next movie, so it's not that big a step up, I guess.
Yeah, I mean... I think we could get away with not having Rodan in it. Like, I think Mothra and Ghidorah would be good enough.
Yeah, I have no problem with them killing Rodan instantly. The military. Just job them straight out. I hate Rodan.
Yeah, Rodan is one of those, like, everyone knows Rodan. I wouldn't say he's one of the more popular kaijus. He's definitely one of the top 5 most well-known kaijus.
I would say he's well-known, not well-loved.
Yeah, because there's not a whole lot to him. He's just fighting pterodactyls, shoots red lasers, helps Godzilla
Sonic booms and such.
I mean, like, Mothra is just more interesting. She has, like, a very dynamic story behind her. Same with Ghidorah.
Yeah.
And that Rodan just really doesn't have a whole lot to him.
I hope we get the singing twins.
Oh, yeah. They have to do the twins. It would just be so weird to have just Mothra be there without the twins to back up.
But it's such a weird character for, like, a very grounded in realism Godzilla movie.
Yeah, I mean, I guess...
Mystical, tiny twin girls.
I wouldn't hate it if they made them normal size.
And, like, alright, here's how I would do it personally. I'd make them children, like 2 little psychic girls.
Okay, yeah, that works.
You know.
Definitely make them, yeah, I like that. And
who would you bring back from cast?
oh god,
Are you bringing back Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch to mouthfuck on TV? Right after they played brother and sister?
oh god.
I think they were just so weak in the movie, I wouldn't bring them back. I'd have Ken Watanabe.
No,
I'd recast your lead.
Ken Watanabe would be the only character I would bring back, because the one thing that nobody likes about the Godzilla movies are the people.
And Ken Watanabe was just good enough, like,
yeah, like
where I'm okay with him. I want him, and I would say, who's an actor underrated? Cillian Murphy. Cillian Murphy as, like, the head scientist looking into him. We don't need an action star. He's not going to be doing goddamn dick. He's not going to fight Godzilla, so you don't need to bring in, like, some badass dude to play the lead. No, you play somebody who can play, somebody who seems like a pretty cool guy. Somebody who's kind of underrated in Hollywood. You have him play your lead. They don't have to be a badass. They don't have to be some sort of space marine jumping off of bridges and shit to fight the Mudo. No, he doesn't need to be cool at all. He'll just be a scientist. And then you have Ken Watanabe, and, like, they just discuss shit, and you just roll from there.
Maybe bring in another scientist from, like, the other corner of the world who's, you know, like, now that more kaijus...
Chung to play, what the hell's her name? Main girl in the Godzilla movies, in the Japanese movies.
Right.
Mickey. Jamie Chung is Mickey. Bring her back. She's a cool character. She can talk to Godzilla Psycho. He sets up your psychics. Then you also have, like, the twin girls that can also talk to Mothra.
Yeah. And give them, you know, like, I think, like, I agree with Dave in making them children. So, because the whole inch-high Smurf girls would be kind of weird in this more set in realism, more scientifical. Like, you could definitely give them, like, some mysticism about them and surrounding Mothra.
And then I also want John Goodman to be the head. Like, I want him to fill the Asso role from the Japanese Godzillas, where he just views Godzilla as this giant threat, and then, like, at the very end of the movie, we see him, like, pulling up Ghidorah's bones or whatever, and he's using it to build the Mecha Godzilla. Like, that's how you build towards Godzilla 3. Yeah. Just a very quick John Goodman being an asshole, because I love John Goodman.
Yeah, definitely one of our favorite actors.
If he doesn't play the Kingpin, at some point, I will just be so disappointed.
I mean, he was in a movie where he basically is a Kingpin. Like, he shaved his head, you know, and I'm like, why isn't he going to be the Kingpin? He would be a good Kingpin.
He's got the voice, the look, everything about John Goodman. He should be the Kingpin. I don't give a shit. I don't care if he fights Daredevil. He just stand there, shoot him with his laser cane. But, alright. Last but not least, not really a comic book, but I kind of feel like it deserves to be in this conversation. Power Rangers, moving forward. Do you bring back Rita and Zed? I mean, obviously you recast them and such.
Yeah.
Is that who you go? Go with a new bad guy?
Oh, hell no. We gotta go back with Rita. At least Rita. If I mean, I don't know if I'd bring in Zed right away. I would...
Are you doing like full on Rita and Goldor?
Oh, hell yes.
The fucking...
At least, you gotta have at least Rita, and you gotta have at least Goldar. Like,
Finster.
Maybe I don't know about the two other guys, but you need Finster because he's the guy who makes the putties. Like, he doesn't have. They don't have to have big roles, but Goldar needs to be like her general.
I really, really liked the Power Rangers growing up, but I just don't know how this movie can succeed. I mean,
it's a weird thing, man. Like, kids.
I just don't see enough in the universe to really want to go back and hit it up again.
I mean, yeah, man. It's just one of those weird things. Like, to me, it's either gonna really succeed or really fail.
See, like, I would have no problem if I heard at the end of whatever Lightning Ass Force, whatever the new Power Rangers, the newest Power Ranger incarnation, it was like, we're gonna reboot Mighty Morphin with new cast and everything. I would think that's pretty cool, but just doing a movie is just kind of weird to me. Like, Power Rangers is set up so episodically. Like, how to build a movie around that is just too weird to me. And I saw it, and I actually enjoyed the Ivan Ooze movie.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it already had a universe built on it, and you had all the cast. Like, how you set up your cast, the universe, the villain, a new villain, kill that villain, leave the old villain alive. Unless you're just going to introduce him and they're going to kill Rita in the first movie. It seems really weird to me. Like, I don't know. Maybe as more comes out, I'll be more okay. But as of right now, I kind of got a pass on it. I'm just like, it just seems weird.
I don't know if I'll see it, depending upon, like, the more I hear about it, hopefully it'll sound better. But right now, I'm in the middle.
Power armor and headlights. It's a joke. See Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. You'll get the joke.
Yeah.
But, I think that's good for this topic. I think we've kind of talked about everything we can talk about.
All right.
So what's our next one on the agenda? Where do you guys see us next?
Next up, I believe we will be discussing 90s cartoons.
And just to give you guys a heads up, we will have the very first DFC debate between my favorite 90s cartoon and Chudge's. Spoiler alert, I win.
Alright guys, thanks again for watching this episode of the Vlog Talk, which I think that's what we're going to be calling the series because I just came up with it and it sounds cool. DFC Vlog Talk. And let us know what you think in the comments below. Are there any topics you guys would like us to talk about?
Any debates? Granted, we are kind of similar in a lot of things like we think of, but we do have a pretty good one for 90s cartoons as far as what's the best one. But anything you guys want us to talk about, anything you guys want us to debate, we'll try our best with any debates you guys put up. But I mean, there's certain things where we're just going to be like, yeah, we both support that. I don't know what you want to say.
I mean, like Dave and I, like, there's not a whole lot that we don't disagree on. You know, just kind of why we started this thing, because we have very similar views on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, when we find something to talk about, we'll talk about it. Give us any suggestions for topics and the little subtopics for, you know, each major topic. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys. Become a member of the Cheesecake Nation today. I'm Super Chudge Funk.
I'm Dave.
Catch you guys next time.
Later.
Excelsior.